All right, so we had some bad Jeremy Sochan news yesterday, but we got some pretty good news today.
I want some nasty. Are we having fun yet?
All right, so if you guys saw my video yesterday, you know that Jeremy Sochan was involved in a traffic accident. He's fine, everything's fine, but his car is not fine. So I do feel for him for that, right? I do feel for him for that. But you know, this is more related to basketball in and of itself. So here we go. So apparently, our boy is putting that work in. So let's go ahead and look at or read some of his quotes here recently. So he talked a little bit about the summer. He talked about not qualifying for the Olympics, but we'll just read it through. So Sochan says, I had a plan for each week of the summer. So he was ready. He was ready to work. Even before joining the Polish national team and later on, I was training individually all the time. So right now, please leave in the comments, what do you think Jeremy Sochan should work on? Like, what is it about his game that you think he should really hone in on? Because honestly, the only thing I can really think of is 3-point shooting. Like that's my main thing, catch and shoot 3-point shooting. Because I think he can complement Wemby quite well in that regard. Now I'm not on the train of Patrick Beverley thinking that he can become the next Kawhi Leonard or anything like that, right? Like, as much as I talk about Sochan, as much as I like Sochan, as much I defend Sochan from haters, I'm not unrealistic here. Like, I really do believe the type of player that he is totally fine with being a pretty versatile big, but the most important thing is being able to hit your 3-point shots, people not being able to leave you open, and you doing everything else you do as far as high basketball IQ, cuts to the rim, defense, all that great stuff. So I don't have crazy expectations, but I do expect him to be a pretty good player. And as far as scoring, maybe the 4th best scorer on the team that we can rely on at times, but nothing quite wild, right? Nothing wild. But I am curious of what he wanted to focus in on regarding shooting, because last summer the one thing that he said he wanted to work on was playmaking. I know that was something that was a little shocking to a lot of us, but at the beginning of the season it ended up showing itself because Popovich, put him in the point guard position to try to see, experiment a little bit. So he worked on his shooting, but he also worked on being a better playmaker. So what do you think he should work on? But here he goes. He says, I worked with various coaches, including my old ones from England. That's good. It was also good to see family and friends. You need to recharge your batteries and refresh mentally. Returning to Southampton, I think that's how you say it, Southampton, where I spent part of my childhood, was amazing. And meeting Southampton FC players, including Jan, was a special experience for me. And as we can see, he's getting braided up right there. That's pretty nice. Because Sochan's Polish men team failed to qualify for the Olympics, he was a spectator, and then moves on. And he said, it's a pity we didn't participate, but it was great to see the Polish volleyball players win a silver. A medal at the Olympics is a huge success. So he's just worried about, his other peers doing their thing. And then this is what I actually absolutely love, and this is what we're going to end the video on, okay? Sochan says he's excited to begin the NBA season in San Antonio, especially after having met with some of the new faces whom he believes will help the team grow. And he says, I connected with Chris Paul while I was in Europe, and I also talked to Harrison Barnes. They are good people and great players, so I'm excited to work with them and prepare for the season. Let me just go on like a mini rant, all right, like 10, 20 second rant here. One thing that really bothers me that I see so often is many articles, not saying this article in particular, obviously not this article, not news for San Antonio, they're fine. But a lot of articles out there, they'll talk about the future of the San Antonio Spurs and how, having Chris Paul is going to benefit the team. How is Harrison Barnes going to benefit the team? And they rarely bring up Sochan. They'll bring up Devin Vassell. Obviously they'll bring up Keldon Johnson. They'll bring up Wemby, but he's never in the conversation. And even we've seen, like, for instance, certain news outlets make graphics in which they have all of the different players, you know, the upcoming Spurs, the new look Spurs, right? And not have Jeremy Sochan on there. It's very disrespectful, especially since he is going to be in the starting lineup with those guys, and he is also going to benefit. So it's just good to hear that, yes, he's been connecting with the vets, the upcoming vets of the team, and I think that he is really going to gel with them as well. But with this team, he'll still get the toughest defensive assignments. I don't think that his role will change that significantly with the addition of those two, and he'll continue to be able to just play the role that he plays. I also don't expect his stats to improve significantly. Only 3-point percentage. Everything else I think will be on par with what we saw. Maybe he can finish around the rim a little bit more efficiently with having someone on Chris Paul on your team, finding you on those cuts more often. But I'm not expecting him to, you know, really light it on fire or anything. But I do expect news outlets to be a little bit more cognizant, a little bit more aware of who's on the team, and he's going to be a starter, so he should be in that conversation when you bring up who's going to benefit, how well or, you know, guys going to play together. It just bothers me. It bothers me because he is part of the group. But anyways, that's my mini rant. I'm sure lots of you are kind of over it at this point, but it is what it is. Okay, I love Jeremy Sochan. I think that he's a really good player, and I don't think he gets enough respect for what he does on the court. But anyways, I will get with you guys later, man. Until next time, bye.